Hey, happy Monday Night Football. I'm Chris Robin, aka at Detroit Beastie, here with Team Riser Fall to talk about the Dolphins heading to New Orleans to take on the Saints. 7-7, both these teams. A lot of playoff implications here. Let's dig in from a DFS perspective. Hello, and we are back. Thanks for being here. Once again, I am Chris Robin, aka at Detroit Beastie, here with Team Riser Fall to talk about Monday Night Football. Hopefully, everybody had a good, restful, fruitful weekend. It was Christmas. It was the day after. Everything involving Christmas was this past weekend, along with a wild slate of games, both on Saturday and Sunday. Hopefully, you profited a little bit. Hopefully, you spent some time with your friends and family, and boom, we're off and running on our way to New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. 2022 is less than a week away. And before I do the promo code stuff and I get into the players, these next 6 days or so, everybody, it's kind of a no man's land, right? Schools are still out, work. A lot of us have just taken off this a complete total week here, and we're just hanging out. We're shopping, we're clean. I don't know what the heck you're doing, but you'll get two separate groups of people. One group will say, you know what? We have 6 days, 7 days left of the year. Let's be as active as possible these next few days. Let's just get as much done as we can. And then there's another group of people, one of which I'm in, try and do the least possible. I mean, you've got 6 or 7 days left. The last year, actually the last year and a half or 2 years, has been awfully taxing on everything from start to finish, health, emotionally, physically, everything. So take the week off and be in peace. Play some DFS, add waivers. Whatever you're into, just find a hobby and just do the least amount of possible. And I know might get a little pushback from the folks that are like, no, you gotta go to the gym, you gotta lift weights, you gotta, why? Just, you got 6 days that anything goes. You're able to be free. You can stay on your couch or in your bed in your underwear and a t-shirt, just binging TV shows and movies, eating leftovers. The Christmas tree is still up, so it's still technically Christmas. So use this week as a complete break from the world for the last 6 or 7 days. So if that's what you're going to do, you can follow me because I'm going to be playing DFS damn near every day because we also have college bowl games. But the moment at hand here, the Miami Dolphins head to the New Orleans Saints at the Superdome here, and both teams are 7-7. Both are kind of they're in this weird phase here where there's on both sides of the ball, AFC and NFC. In the playoff picture, there's 5 or 6 teams that are also 7-7. So this game is a must-have for both of these teams. And the Miami Dolphins, I believe, if I remember correctly, the Dolphins have won about 7 games in a row. It's been awesome for them, right? And Tua and Duke Johnson had one heck of a week last week, I should say. But before we get into that, just really quick, make sure you go to Team Riser Fall. Like, share, subscribe. Use promo code NBA. You're going to get 33% off your first month of premium services. And what a better time to use it. It's December 27th, so it'll roll over all the way towards the end of January. I think that's more than enough time to figure out what you're missing here at Team Riser Fall. So do that, promo code NBA, and let's talk about the game here. As I've said, AFC East, Miami Dolphins 7-7, heading to New Orleans, the NFC South, New Orleans Saints, who are also 7-7. I believe that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have already clinched that division. So the Saints, the best they can do is a wild card here. 2 things I want to mention briefly from a sports betting perspective. Miami 5-1 ATS last 6 games. ATS is against the spread. New Orleans 1-4 against the spread their last 5 games at home. As it stands now, when I looked at my notes, right, I do all my notes and I write down every game and my predictive score and everything, a full 5-6 days ahead of time. When this line opened, Miami was getting 3 points. Now Miami is giving New Orleans the 3 points. That is a massive swing, and that's all based on the COVID news for the Saints. They have really no healthy quarterback aside from Ian Book, 4th round selection out of Notre Dame, if I'm not mistaken. So that is a massive shift. One of those point swings that I haven't seen in a very long time, and I'd like to think I keep my eyes on all this thing here from start to finish here. So let's talk about the quarterbacks. Tua Tagovailoa, Miami at New Orleans. New Orleans is 19th overall against opposing quarterbacks here. Tua on FanDuel, $15,000. Draftkings, $10,200. And I was trying to think, how should I do this? Should I give you the players as they go and then the strategy at the end, or just weave it in at the same time? So when all else fails, just cover it all from start to finish here. When you look at this game, it's going to heavily favor Miami. So stack Miami Dolphins. But again, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. Like I'm no one special to say, hey, it's really profound to stack Tua and Duke and Waddle and Devontae Parker. Every other human being on earth is going to implement that same plan of attack here. So we have to be different. In this game specifically, Miami at New Orleans here, everybody's going to flock towards Miami. So in a way, even in GPPs, you might want to play this game, multi-entry GPPs, you might want to play this as a cash game, right? Seriously, in 150 max, even a single entry GPP, play them all like cash games, because again, most lineups are going to have 3 or 4 Miami Dolphins. So it's going to come down to us, me, and you to kind of decipher what few New Orleans Saints do we want in our lineups to differentiate us from everybody else. Because again, I could imagine Tua, Waddle, and Parker, and maybe even to a certain extent Mike Gesicki are going to be 40-50% owned. So we have to kind of shook and jive here, and maybe it'll be Marquez Callaway, little Jordan Humphrey, or maybe it'll be Ty Montgomery that sets our lines apart if they can get anything done here. Just a little food for thought here. I have Tua, 25, maybe 26 completions in this one, 250. I think that's a little low, 250 passing yards. Personally, I think Tua gets around 265, 270 passing yards in this one. Couple carries, 10, 15 yards, and 1 touchdown. When we get to Ian Book against the Miami Dolphins defense, they're okay. They're literally middle of the road. They're 15th overall DVP against opposing quarterbacks. Book $12,000 on FanDuel, $9,000 on DraftKings. It does nothing for me because he's so expensive on FanDuel. You would imagine Ian Book, first ever NFL start, literally his first ever NFL game action. They just put him up there at $12,000 because he's the starting quarterback. That tells you all you need to know about the algorithm of how these sites, price these players. They don't even know who it is. They see starting quarterback, $12,000. I'm telling you now, Ian Book, not worth the $12,000 on FanDuel because I have him. I think he's lucky if he gets to like 210, 200 overall passing yards, a touchdown pass. I think we're in for, no offense, no disrespect to Cleveland Browns fans, but I think Ian Book has some sort of a Baker Mayfield stat line here, 3, maybe 4 interceptions here. So again, Miami Dolphins DST on DraftKings, very much in play, and I'll get to that. When we get to the running backs, it's a weird thing here, and I was trying to look for another word, but I couldn't think of it fast enough. So Myles Gaskins in New Orleans, they're very good. They're second overall against opposing running backs. Gaskin, $11,000 on FanDuel, $7,400 on DraftKings. 12, 13 carries, 40, maybe 50 yards would be sweet, 3, 4 receptions, and another 20 or 25 yards here. Given his price tag, $11,000 on FanDuel, DraftKings, it's all right, $7,400. But to me, I'm not fully fading Gaskin, but he's not in my player pool for the purpose of this video here. Next guy, highlighted in pink, Duke Johnson in New Orleans. As I said, second overall against opposing running backs here. Duke, $11,000 on FanDuel, $7,200 on DraftKings here, but I have a feeling let me say this, 10 carries, 11 carries for Duke, I'll get that out of the way, 40, 50 yards here, couple receptions, no more than like 15 or 20 yards, and that's even being ambitious here, but a lot of folks are going to use Myles Gaskin. As I said, that 3-4 player combo stack of the Dolphins in most casual fans, and let's be honest here, not everybody is a professional DFS player, and especially December 27th, Monday Night Football, this game isn't all that appetizing, so all these people, they went back to work or they're home and they have their phone and they got some extra Christmas money, they're going to put it in FanDuel, DraftKings, and they're just going to build some lines casually, and they'll see, Myles Gaskin is the starting quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. I think the Miami Dolphins are going to mop the floor with the Saints. Let's just put in Myles Gaskin. And look, when I say I would prefer Duke Johnson, it's not at all about chasing points. Duke had an outstanding Week 15 here. I believe it was the best stat line of his career here. I believe he can back it up here in a game where Miami is going to be just running and gunning in a way. And the New Orleans Saints defense is very capable of standing up to the Miami offense. But again, I see a whole lot of 3 and outs for the Saints here. So they're just going to perpetually be giving the ball back to Miami. So in a way, Gaskin and Duke Johnson, they could probably split 30, 35 carries here. And it's which one do you trust the most? And in a weird strategic way, I would prefer Duke Johnson just based on suppressed ownership percentage. That's all it is to me. Salvin Ahmed, Philip Lindsay, one of these two is going to be in street clothes tonight. Good luck figuring out which one it is. I think Ahmed will be on the inactive today. Philip Lindsay, 1-2 carry. This is why I even bother. Alvin Kamara. Here's another one. Miami 6th overall against running backs. Alvin, 16-5 on FanDuel, $12,200 on DraftKings. AK41 is by far and away the most expensive player on the slate today. Rightfully so. To me, that just screams fade here. Now, I know a lot of you will say, Chris, what are you doing? You're a dummy. Why would you fade Alvin Kamara? Because I feel like there is a little bit of leverage to be gained. Hey, let's say Alvin Kamara, what do I have? I have for about 15 carries, 60, maybe 70 yards, 4 or 5 receptions, another 40 yards. So you're looking at about 100 total yards here. And maybe I don't know if he'll find the end zone. That's one of the hardest things to project here. So I'm just going to say we'll leave that up in the air here. But to me, Alvin Kamara, if you fade him, there's leverage to be gained with a guy like Mike Gesicki, with a guy like Duke Johnson here, because their price tags are $4,000 or $5,000 cheaper. Waddle is $3,000 cheaper here. So you can kind of, get over what Alvin Kamara does if you fade him here, if that makes any sense. I'm working it out as I go here. So to me, everybody on earth is going to own Alvin Kamara. But as I said at the beginning of the video here, we want to treat this like a cash game, right? If we're treating it like a cash game, Alvin Kamara has to be in your lineup. But there's another level of strategy here. It's just nonstop with this. So we're going to treat it like a cash game, but we're going to fade the number one overall cash option tonight in Alvin Kamara. And look, I'm not suggesting that he's going to just fall flat on his face. We're going to have to be sweating it out. We're going to have to eat all these yardage and hopefully just one touchdown we're going to have to eat from Alvin Kamara. But I think it'll be worth it in the long run when we get to the wide receivers and we go all in on Jalen Waddle and Devontae Parker. Waddle, $13,000 on FanDuel, $11,600 on DraftKings, and then Devontae Parker, $10,500 on FanDuel, $9,400 on DraftKings. And oh, by the way, Saints 25th overall in defending opposing wide receivers here. I have Waddle 9-10 targets, 6, maybe 7 receptions here, fingers crossed, 65, 70 yards here. And then Parker, he's come back and he's looked good for seasonal formats and in DFS formats. Parker, 8 targets, 5, maybe 6 receptions, 65, maybe 70 yards here. So who's to say Waddle and Parker both can't catch 5 or 6 balls, each put up 70 yards apiece and each score a touchdown? Boom, 2 players that can maybe outperform us fading Alvin Kamara here. That's just a weird thing that popped into my head as I was recording here. And let's move on. We're already 12 minutes in. I talk too much sometimes, but when I'm way into something and I'm interested about it and talking strategy constantly, I could go for 2-3 hours here. Tight ends, only 2 I'm really paying attention to. Yeah, you guessed it, the Miami Dolphins guys, Mike Gesicki and Durham Smythe. New Orleans, 8th overall against opposing tight ends. Gesicki, $10,000 on FanDuel, $6,400 on DraftKings, 7-8 targets, 4 or 5 receptions, 56 yards. If he finds the end zone, that's outstanding. But again, I have Tua only throwing 1 touchdown pass, hopefully 2 touchdown passes, because I want my Waddle and Parker stack to kind of pay off here. But again, predicting touchdowns is damn near impossible. Left my crystal ball upstairs. And let's talk kickers. No big deal here. I got Sanders, 2 for 2 field goals, 2 for 2 extra points. Brett Maher, 1 for 2 extra points, 2 for 2 field goals here. So when we talk about the defenses, now you'll go on social media today as kickoff is fast approaching here. Now, if you on DraftKings, it's not possible on FanDuel, and that's a bummer, but on DraftKings, literally, I would use my captain spot on the Dolphins DST here, at least in one line. If you want to get wild and just make all these infinite combos with players and putting the Dolphins DST in the captain spot, then so be it. They're only $4,400 on DraftKings. 3-4 sacks, that's pretty sweet. 1, maybe 2 receptions. As I said, if you're like me, I think Book is going to have some sort, not a meltdown, it's his first ever start, but he's going to put up some sort of Baker Mayfield-esque projection here. So get the Dolphins DST in your lineups here. And my final score prediction is going to be close here. I think the Miami Dolphins, everything I just said, it might seem contradictory here. Well, they're going to wipe the floor with them, or Miami just stack Miami. But I think necessarily it's going to be within like 3 to 6 points here. And I think the Miami Dolphins win 24-17 in this one. And so again, a few touchdowns for Miami, 1, maybe 2 for the New Orleans Saints. And look, Ian Book, I wish him the best. You got a tough sledding here at home Monday Night Football right after Christmas here. So make sure you go to Team Riser Fall. Can't believe this video was 15 minutes. It's like I just started. Things are just going so fast around here, aren't they? Week 16 is done after tonight here. Make sure you go to Team Riser Fall, like, share, subscribe, use promo code NBA. You're going to get 33% off. And then let's get back together on Thursday. We'll talk about Thursday Night Football. Until then, rest, relax, be a bum. It's okay. I approve it. Talk to you next time. Bye.